Hey guys, it's PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor, and I hope that you've had a great day. Okay, I'm going to do my housekeeping. Sorry, I'm trying to get this adjusted. I'm going to do some housekeeping to let you know that I go live 3 times a week. That is on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Of course, at 8 on Wednesday and Friday, and then on Sunday at 3 o'clock, which I am right now, right? Want to let you know that I want you to leave your questions and your comments in the comment section, and I will definitely get back to you. All right, guys. So today we're going to talk about one page at a time, right? So I want to tell you who I am and why I do what I do. Now, for me, it's important to take one step at a time because if I put too much on my plate, on my heart, or on my thought process, well, I get overwhelmed. And when I get overwhelmed, I shut down. And shutting down is not an option when you're trying to go to the next level, right? So I have to tell myself, I have to give myself like 5 minutes and say, Pam, hey, you're good. Nothing is happening to you right here at this moment. So don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't stress about a thing, right? This is just some of the pet peeves that are PM Mathis. Okay, not trusting someone's wisdom who doesn't seem to apply that wisdom to their own life. Now, guys, please understand my heart. There are certain people that can tell me things and I hear them because I know their intention for me. And I'm not even saying that their lives are totally, in complete order, but because I know they love me, I can hear them. Now, if you just out of the blue walk up to me and say, hey, you need to do this, that, and the other, or we're in a conversation, you tell me what something is not good for my life, and I'm watching you do things that are not beneficial for your own, and what you're trying to tell me you can apply to your own life and circumstance. Well, I don't really kind of respect your wisdom, and I know that might be harsh and that might be a little disconcerting to some. It is not in that vein that I'm saying that, but I'm just speaking my truth and about who I am. Now, I'm not telling you I'm not trying to work on these things, because I am. Those things that matter and are beneficial to my life, I am definitely trying to work on those things and get those things figured out. But just know that maybe before you get ready to throw your advice at somebody, you need to kind of check your own doorstep, okay? Um, Over analyzing something to certain death. Now, this is me all day, every day. I wish I could just say I make a decision and follow through with that decision and let it go. And I, you know, I am just on board. Well, that's not what happens. I had to think about the what ifs. I had to think about the conversation. I had to think about how somebody else might look at it, dissect it, and start questioning me about it. And they might start criticizing me. Right. So I don't I don't deal well with all of that. I am a work in progress, just like a lot of you. But what I'm trying to do is help others know that you're not alone. There are things that we're all working on. And in this live video, I want to help you do three things, right? So the first one is alternate your view, right? Rather than trying to, we always talk about holding people accountable and having accountability partners, which I'm not saying is wrong, but how about we switch that into being a motivator? And how you motivate her is motivate all the time is not necessarily with your words, but with your actions, with people seeing you do a thing. Maybe it's not the same thing that they're doing, but that you motivate them by action. You motivate them by showing up. You motivate them by saying, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. And these are the dots that are connecting what I'm trying to do. So rather than being, forcing somebody's hand to be accountable, hey, what are you doing today? How many tasks did you get complete? Because I know for me, that kind of is like an irritating kind of thing. Even if I might ask you to be my accountability partner, That in and of itself may drive me. Why? Because every day I'm not on task. Every day I'm not doing one, two, three, four, five projects. It might just be one project. And that might be good enough. But what I'm saying is let us be motivators by our action and by how we experience and walk through this life. And you know what? I think we will have a lot more people following us because when they ask the question, we'll have the answer to give to them. Or let me say this, or maybe a suggestion in how it has played well for us, right? Point number two, attend to your own stuff before you try to show up for others, because you don't know, all of what they've been through. But you do know what you've been through. You do know how things have played out in your life. You do know those decisions that you should not have made. You knew in the back of your mind, oh my God, you shouldn't do this, but you decided to do it anyway. And then there were consequences to those actions that don't necessarily clear up in one day. Just because now you want to flip it and change it, that don't necessarily correct it. And so rather than trying to be this for everybody else, and hey, I'm with you, I want to influence, I want to be a positive experience in your life, but you know what, there are things that I have to deal with, that I have to overcome. And so I might not show up all the time in how you need me to, and in ways that suggest to you I'm on top of my game, because every day I'm not. Because right now, though there is this big huge thing that's playing on in my head, but you know what, I'm determined not to let it stop me. I'm determined not to let it come out my mouth in a negative way, and even when I think about it negatively, I'm trying to capture those thoughts, to bring them down and submit them to what God has said about me. Because like I always say, he knew I would be here before I got here, so he understands what's happening and where I'm going and what needs to take place. I don't see all of that. And there's a lesson in this. And I pray, because in my mind, I'm praying, Pam, let this be the last time you go against what you already know to be the correct thing to do. Because that's what it boils down to. I knew in my heart of hearts not to do this, but I did it anyway. Now I have to deal with the consequences of the action. So, point number three, be mindful. It's people's lives you are fooling with. So make sure you are ready for the responsibility. I want to be an an influencer to help people be self-motivators and self-encouragers. Why? Because I think it's necessary. Because if you can't, in your own right and in your own mind and in your own way, get yourself up every day and tell yourself, now listen, I'm sure you've heard my story long enough. I am trying to move from up under my, 9 to 5. But every day that I have a job, I'm grateful until I can get to that point. But if I had to have somebody motivate me to get up out of the bed every day to get to my 9 to 5, I would have a problem. But as I'm walking through these days, because I know they're days, and they're numbered days, because I trust my God, because he wouldn't have laid a desire on my heart without giving me the way to get this thing done. And actually show other people that are watching me how to do it. Because I'm telling you, watch a girl, right? And I'm not saying that braggadociously. I'm just saying that I have a goal in mind, and I'm ambitious enough, I'm thoughtful enough, I'm an intentional enough, and I'm prayerful enough to see this thing come to pass. So, because I'm that way, I'm gonna do what's in my power and in my ability to get this thing done, because I don't want to be out here just telling you stuff and I don't show no manifestation of it, or I don't show you the action plan how to get it done. And here's the thing, first it starts with my mouth, because I believe, I trust, I speak it out. Because as I was driving today to church, and even as my mind wanted to play tricks on me, I had to speak out the positiveness. I had to be grateful every single day. And here's what I'm trying to tell you, gratitude will go a long way. Now, we all have heard that, And I'm sure we, say, oh, I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for that. But let's be intentional about the thing, right? Let's speak it out where we can hear ourselves say it. And not just, I don't know about you, but I always say things here because I don't want people to think I'm foolish by opening my mouth and saying something out loud. And people be like, "Hey, what's going on with you? Why are you talking to yourself?" But here's the thing: I don't care anymore, right? Because I need to see my life become what I imagined it to be. I I have a lot of things I write down, a lot of things that I see, a lot of things that I speak that I want to see come to pass. And I'm talking about now, not, you know, we're almost hitting another decade. I'm talking about I want to see this manifested now, right? So what I'm trying to tell you, if you're going to be that kind of influencer, don't be fooling around with people's lives. Don't just be saying junk that you don't believe or that it just sounds good because everybody else is saying it and everybody else is doing it. If you don't believe it, if you don't have something that's motivating you, like that stuff that's on the inside that's telling you, hey, I can get this done and I'm actually working towards it, stop spewing all that stuff out. Stop making people think that just because they want this, that, and the other, that it's going to come to pass without some work behind it, because that's not true, right? So, what I want you to take away, remember, is point number one: alternate your view. Rather than holding people accountable, let's be motivators and let our actions be the way that we motivate, that we hold ourselves accountable first, and then other people can see that pattern playing out in our lives. Point number two, attend to your own stuff before you try to show others the way, right? Stop doing that. Like they say, sweep out your own, back door, or check your own house before you start trying to go out here and tell people how they should live and what they need to do, right? And be mindful. Point number three is people's lives you're fooling with. So make sure you're ready for the responsibility. Okay. And so I want to also remind you that for each one of my lives, I do worksheets. There are still some housed on my um, Pew Partner friend page under the file section, but those will all be transitioning eventually to my website, which is www.pewpartners.wix.com/PM Mathis. They will be transitioning over there because I'm trying to drive more traffic to my website, so you guys will know, that my books are there, that product, my DIY that I create using my essential oils are there, because I want you to experience the whole of who Pam is, right? I want to remind you that, of course, I am on social media. Now I have switched from Instagram Live to YouTube Live. And I want you to know that there is great content on my YouTube page. And you can find me under Pamela PM Mathis. These lives are just the tip of the iceberg. This is, I'm telling you, there's some seriously great content over there. Things that will help you, maybe give you another thought process, help you understand that and show you what it looks like to be a lady boss. Because you know what? This is just the groundwork. Because when that day jumps off, that people know who I am and my platform has been established, I will already have the content in place for them to find me, for them to realize that I ain't just, some fly by night kind of girl, that I'm here to stay and I'm here to help and influence, to be what? Self motivators and self encouragers, right? Wanted to also let you know that I have 3 books published. The first one is Your God's Love Story. The second one is Daddy, You Can Hold My Hand. The third one is Ordinary Princess. All these books can be purchased online through Lulu, Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, and Books A Million. I currently have 2 ebooks published on Amazon Kindle. The first one is Tolerance No Thanks to Toxic Person, Place, or Situation. And the second one, which I just released December the 31st, guys, I'm so excited, is 10 Considerations to Stay in Focus with less you get more. So check your girl out. She's doing big things. I'm trying to, help other people. Not only am I talking the talk, I want to walk the walk to show you what it looks like to be profitable, to be productive, and to set your platform in place so your brand can be established, right? And also want to finally remind you that I am doing Young Living essential oil classes. There is a lineup I'm doing all January. That will continue on each month. I'm definitely going to try to do 4 classes, and more than likely they will be online classes. I can also do an in-person class. So if that is something you want, you can connect with your girl on social media. Remember, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And I will definitely get back with you. Wanted to let you know that I love you. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. And as always, 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 I want you to what? Be blessed. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later.